Salutations, Queen of Shade here. Just coming to you to have another conversation and share the way that I think, my perspective, and my thought process and pattern. It is 2:27 in the morning where I am. And I have been so busy working because I do have an LLC and I do have business bills and things that I have to do for the Queen of Shade that keep me very busy. I don't always get to my text messages or phone calls or emails as quickly as I would like to. I haven't decided to hire anyone just yet to help me with that because my brand is very powerful and I don't want to give someone access to that power and it be used incorrectly, improperly, or to abuse others. So it takes me a while. So I checked my messages today and I caught up and I was catching up. And I just ended a friendship of 11 years. 11 years with one of the most beautiful men I will ever know. I said what I had to say in response to the voice memo, and I blocked him. And I've been friends with him for 11 years. He's a Gemini. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because I need you to know why. So, in catching up in my messages, I was listening to the voice memos because one of the most beautiful men that I will ever meet, inside and out, so I thought, sends me voice messages, memos in my phone, and I catch up on them when I'm not working and I respond to them, and sometimes I do voice memos and sometimes I write back in text, and this happens in my phone, not on social media. Well, I listened to his voice memo tonight, one of them, and it got him blocked. Basically, what he did was that he felt he was safe. Let's start there. He felt he was safe because the Queen of Shade is a safe space. He felt that he could let his hair down because the Queen of Shade is a place of relaxation and calm. And I listened to him judge another young man because the young man is an adult entertainer. The gist of the message went that he knew the now adult entertainer when they were younger. And we're not that young anymore. We're in our 40s now. This young man that I just got rid of is in his 30s. He just had a birthday. He's just turned 35. But we've known each other for a while. But he was telling me how he met the person and how the person took his virginity. And how he enjoyed the person and how sexually free the person was and uninhibited and called him a freak and all of these things and said it was wonderful. And then in the same breath went on to say, and now he's an adult film star. All that talent basically gone to waste. Talked about what he was in school for and this, that, and the other. And it wasn't what he said. It was how he said it. The disdain in his voice. And the need for him to distance himself. The need for him to tell me over and over that he wasn't like that. Yeah, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle that. I could not handle that. I could not stand to hear and to listen to the way that he put this boy down. And what you have to understand about me is, as I explained to him, the Queen of Shade crown has done wonders for my life, especially as far as connectivity. Connectivity. Connection. I know so many people, celebrity and civilian alike. And you and your mother and your aunties and your cousins would never believe who I know, because I don't tell you. It's not your business. But you never know who you're talking to. I just want to segue real quick. I had this happen to me years ago when I came home from college after being medically withdrawn with my best friend at the time. I had two best friends at that time, and they were dating each other. Heterosexual couple. They were dating each other. And I told my best girlfriend that I was coming out, that I finally embraced, that I was homosexual, and that I was coming out. And of course, she told her boyfriend, who was also my best friend, and he got mad that I didn't come to him and tell him. I didn't want to deal with it because he was straight, and I just didn't want to deal. Back then I wasn't ready. I wore my heart on my sleeve, and I was a young entertainer. I just was not ready for what kind of smoke that was going to bring between us, because I had heard him make homophobic jokes before, etc., and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I told her, because she was more accepting. Women were always in my life more accepting than men. But he got mad. I will never forget that I told him in a way that neither him nor I will ever forget. He knew, and I was going somewhere with him and his mother, actually to his grandmother's house. And I was in the back seat. He was in the front seat with his mother driving. And we were driving to his grandmother's house, and we were almost there. And there was a young lady in my school who was a lesbian. She was out and open about being a lesbian. And I remember him, because my school was the type that you couldn't say the N-word, you would get suspended, and all of these things. You couldn't fight, you would get suspended. They wasn't trying to have it at this cushy suburban school that I was at. Fighting was just not going to happen, because the fine was hefty. It was hundreds of dollars. It had a court date. It had 5 days suspension, 5 days in school suspension, 5 days out of school suspension. You just did not want to do it. That's how they discouraged beefs being settled with fist. And I know that I'm talking about my other friend, but I'm just going to tell you this because I had this happen before, and I had the same reaction. We were driving, and he knew because my best girlfriend had told him, and he was still upset about it. So instead of calling the young lady by her name or whatever, and his mother was very religious, so instead of an island, so think about that, from the islands, think about that. If you know, you know. So instead of calling the young lady by her name, because we knew her, she was our friend and classmate and schoolmate, not classmate, schoolmate, because he was in grades, it was like 2 years younger than me. Actually, he was my age. He got left back a number of times, so twice. So that's what happened. That's the real story behind that. I did my research. But he called the girl, oh yeah, that lesbian, da 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 da. And we got to his grandmother's house, and I stayed in the car, and he stayed in the car with me. And I said to him when his mom got out, I said, why'd you have to call her a lesbian? Oh, because that's what she is. I'm like, yeah, but we both know her. And she's so much more than just a lesbian. And he proceeded to, because he was angry about me not telling him about me being gay. Why does it matter to you? I said, because she's a human being. And we know her. And she deserves way more respect than the derogatory connotation that you are attaching to her right now. And of course, we got into an argument because he figured he was going to force me to tell him. Why does it matter to you? You know how they do. Why does it matter to you? Why are you so bothered? Why are you so upset? Why are you so this and that? And we got into a heated argument. And we didn't want to argue in front of his mom. So, because even his mom said before she got out of the car, well, if she's a lesbian, I mean, because I said it to him in front of his mom, like, why are you saying that? We know her. Like, come on. You know, and the mom, well, if that's what she is, that's what she is. So I was over his mom right there from that point either. Like, I was determined, oh no, I'm not going to stick around here. So me having newly just came out. He's yelling, well, why does it matter to you? Why does it matter to you? Trying to get me to tell him. And I said to him, because you don't know who the fuck you're talking to when you speak. So you should always be careful because you never know who you're talking to. That was one of the last conversations I had with him. Years ago. He called me recently when he saw me as the Queen of Shade. He did call me. They always call. To congratulate and to see if I had transitioned. You know, he wanted to see all of that. He was nosy. And when I answered the phone, because he FaceTimed me, because, you know, we have numbers. We keep each other's number. When he FaceTimed me and saw that I had not transitioned, he kind of relaxed. But even if I had transitioned, that would have been none of his business. But anyway, now back to my current story. I've been friends with this young Gemini for 11 years, and I loved him because he's beautiful and intelligent and funny and smart. But he also has just shown me that he's extremely judgmental. And I can't have that in my life, especially about the boys that I love. I have done over 230 interviews with men that the world would look at and judge because of their occupation, being escort, being gay for pay, being an OF star, being an adult entertainer. And I choose to stand with them. I choose to stand with them. So I proceeded to write him a laundry list and a dissertation about how offended I was and how much I thought I knew him, but I guess I didn't. And I said to him, it took me 11 years to see your true colors. And I told him, you spoke candidly to me because you thought you were safe. You thought you were in a space where you wouldn't be judged for expressing your true nature and how you felt. And he highly offended me. So I blocked him. And I told him, you and I are more different than I anticipated. What you guys need to understand is that I go hard for my boys. The ones that everybody says, oh, well, they're OF stars, they're adult entertainers, they're escorts, they're, OF stars. Yeah. But you need to also throw in there entrepreneur, independent contractors, and free. Now you may say free. What do you mean free? Hollywood is a trap. Modeling is a trap. Music careers are traps. Because if you don't show up with your own capital to fund your own career, you guys have heard me say this, you are signing up to be a slave. And it is only a matter of time before the entity or the corporation assumes full control of your career to protect their investment. Slavery, basically. And I chose to work for myself, just like so many of these young boys. I know OF stars that make 50,000 plus from their OF accounts because of the hard work, literally hard work that they place in. And I'm okay with that. And I proceeded to tell this person, do you know who you're talking to? I may be shiny. I may be a brand. I may be polished. But my first job, my first paying job in entertainment was impersonating a female and working on a phone sex line. There I learned a lot about myself and men in general. And that education has helped me do the job that I do today. Has given me the confidence that I have, the unwavering confidence that I have. And I'm hurt because I really appreciated having this beautiful Gemini in my life. But he showed me tonight that we are, in fact, much different than I ever anticipated. And this person wanted to work for me. He loved me so much and what I was doing so much. He watched me interview these people and never showed his true face. If y'all know a Gemini, never showed his true face. It took me 11 years to see his true face. And the moment I saw it was the moment I cut all communication with him. And I'm going to miss him. But you know what I'm not going to miss? The judgment, the condescension, the holier than thou attitude. I told him, you live in a fishbowl. But I've listened to you for 11 years, because he also is in entertainment. More on the slave side, less on the free side. But I said, you live in a fishbowl, and I've listened to you for 11 years talk about the desire for excitement, the desire to break out and be free and do this and do that. And I told him, no, you belong in that fishbowl. That's where you belong. Stay in your fishbowl. Because the rest of us out here, we doing what we have to do to survive. No, I'm not an OF star. No, I'm not an adult entertainer, though I've been asked. No, I'm not an escort, though I will hire them to have intercourse with me because I prefer escorts. I just do the free stuff. I don't get what I want. Or when I do, it comes with a bunch of strings and they want more from me, as in money. So I'm like, listen, if you want my money anyway and you're supposedly having sex for free, you're not, I can pay an escort. I love escorts. They're professionals. They get paid to be beautiful and hygienically clean and keep their bodies in shape and eat right and all of those great things, so that they can please their customers and clients. I'll take that any day. But I go hard for mine. And I will never let anybody judge them or me. And my thing is, I treat each and every person I deal with in life like I did what they did. I give people grace because I need grace. I forgive because I need forgiveness. I am empathetic because I need empathy. I'm kind because I need kindness. I'm understanding because I need understanding. I'm fair because I need fairness. I'm just because I need just people to be just with me. I am all of these things on a regular basis. They make the Queen of Shade because I've done some things to people that have needed me to come back and beg their pardon. I've said things. I've been mean. And I had to come back, and I needed those people to give me grace and forgiveness. And they did, because they remembered how much grace I gave them and forgiveness I gave others. They saw me in action. So they didn't hold me to the term of an eye for an eye. But I let go of that boy tonight. And I'm sure he wasn't awake. I'm sure when he wakes up, he's going to be outraged. And he's going to have a shitload of shit to say to me. But guess what? I won't be reading it because I blocked him. I choose my OF stars, my escorts, and my adult entertainers. Some of the most beautiful and some of the most intelligent people I have ever met. To understand human behavior and psychology. To understand how to provide the fantasy and be the fantasy. To project and become the fantasy. It's a lot of work. And a lot of you guys are condescending and judge my boys. I have news for you. You couldn't afford any of my boys. You couldn't afford any of them. So you are doomed to spend your life looking through the glass at people you will never have. So that's why many of you judge them. You'll never be as free as they are. You'll always be upset because they're running around the entire world, collaborating with others like them in Paris and London and all over, while you don't even have a passport. And I choose to stand with them. So, it took me 11 years for me to get that Gemini to show his other face. But he did. And I wasn't having it. Especially because I knew the young man that he was talking about. And he didn't know that I knew the young man that he was talking about. And when he sent me his profile and look at what he's doing. He's a full porn star now. He slipped so from grace. He's fallen and he was so talented. And I said, excuse me, I know him. He's still talented. He didn't fall anywhere. He works for himself. He's free. Stay in your fishbowl where other people pay you, tell you how to jump, tell you what to do, tell you how to do it. If they don't like it, they fire you. Then you find a new job. Then you call me crying about having to find a new job. That's been my life. I've been there for him. And I didn't come from the family that he did or the suburban background that he has. I started from the bottom and I climbed to where I am now. The class that I have had. I had it in the ghetto. I had it in the ghetto. And the ghetto didn't like me for it. I'm a person that didn't fit in anywhere. But guess what? Black, and the blacks didn't want me either. Too effeminate, the gays didn't want me. But guess what? I have my place. My place is right here. Right here. And I built this place for me. And many of you will never meet me. Because you don't deserve to. You couldn't afford to. No one can afford me. Not even Hollywood, a mainstream music career, or a modeling contract. I'm way more valuable than just being a slave to anyone. And I will always stand with my boys, whom value freedom over publicity and an illusion. Entertainment is smoke and mirrors. That's all. An optical illusion. I can't believe. I should have known, though. I should have known. Never mind him sending me videos and photos of him completely naked. I enjoyed those. I've been getting them, receiving them for 11 years. Just being honest. He has a beautiful body. I've seen every inch of it. Gonna miss that. I don't like losing boys. He was one of my boys. But guess what? Not so much. Because the moment he could judge this young man whom took his virginity at 21, guys, gave him, and he even credited the young man for giving him the sexual prowess and the feeling and connection to his sensuality that he has today. He credited this boy for that and then tore him down in the same breath. But he totally unlocked you, and you do that to him. I'm sick and tired of all these bourgeois. I'm sick and tired of all these bourgeois. The bourgeoisie, you don't interest me. I'm a boy from the inner city of Philadelphia. Yeah, I got to grow up in Willow Grove and be in the suburbs, but I'm still a brown boy from northern Philadelphia. Northern Philadelphia. I'll never be more than that in my mind, no matter how high I go. And that's good. It's not about forgetting where you came from. No, they didn't want me either. It's not about staying humble. No. Not about humility. No. It's about remembering that I'm a human being. Though I've created this beautiful, huge brand, I'm human. And to be human is to be human, not to err. To be human. Remembering that I'm from North Philly keeps me in my body. And I like that. So to that young man, you're going to see this. I know you're going to see this. Goodbye. You fucked up. Big time. And I'm not going to give you the chance to do that again. Never again. Wanted to work with me. I'll be your assistant. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'm so glad, guys, that I know in this stage that I'm at, I'm right before my coronation. I'm right before my brand goes public. That's what's happening. And the God of my understanding, the God of my own religion, is letting me see who's really for me and who's not. And what I'm learning is you can be for me, but if you're not for my boys that I bring with me, oh, you ain't for me either. That's how I play. Yeah, you could be for me. You can endorse me. You can love me. But you turn your nose up at the people I bring with me because you don't like their occupation, even though you're doing in private what they're doing in public. I got a big problem with that. You're doing in private what they're doing in public. I have hundreds of videos of you naked. Hundreds of videos of you jacking off. Hundreds of videos of you showing me your body. But you're not like them? Really? Really? Not religious. But this religious quote comes to my mind right now. By the grace of God, there go I. Which means I could be doing the same thing my brothers are doing. By the grace of God, there go I. We are supposed to love each other and not judge at all. That's what the God of my own consciousness tells me.
Make sure that you follow the Queen of Shade on all social media platforms. Stay up to date with social media posts, podcast episodes, merchandise drops, and mentoring specials. Serious booking inquiries, use the email provided.
She wins.